And we are live. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Welcome back to some more RSU programming, talking about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. And you know what day it is? It's Saturday. It's early morning. And instead of watching cartoons and eating cereal, you're here with us, the Jedi Academy. The show where we answer all your questions about Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, but not by RSG, by this wonderful panel of folks that you see in front of you, and that is kind of how this show works. This is a Q&A show, and we'll get into that in just a second. Welcome to everybody in the chat. Whip out your pickles, do all those wonderful things that you guys like to do. Glad to have you guys here. Good morning to the panel. Good morning to everyone. I hope everyone's washing their hands and being safe. Joining me on this epic journey, we've got my co-host and the man that, basically gives me aneurysm, is the one and only Dr. Finn Mendelssohn woman.
I had a Twinkie for breakfast.
That's okay. I mean, we're not running anymore. I mean,
it's sad. You know what the sad part is?
I don't care anymore if you get diabetes, Finn. You eat all the Twinkies.
No, it's actually... So I've managed to lose like 6 pounds since I've been eating Twinkies and Oreos at home.
Folks, I just like to say that what Finn's trying to do is justify his Twinkie and Oreo eating, and that's not... As I said, when his heart explodes and he gets the diabetes, then you'll know.
It will be delicious. Exploded heart for everyone.
No, it will not. That's no such thing. So, Jedi Academy.
Cream filled.
Shut up. No one cares about your diabetes. So if you guys are wondering how this works, it's real simple. We have this wonderful panel. They're here to answer questions about the game and anything else related to the game. So if you have a question, all you need to do is pop your question into chat. Make sure you put the word question in front of your statement, or we will not get it scooped up. We use Nightbot, and that's how the questions go. It behooves you to put your questions in sooner rather than later. We will have a cutoff time. So if you want to get your question in, now would be the time. Sooner rather than later, let's just do that. Also, if you could do me a favor while you're coming on in, give us a thumbs up on that video. It does help us with get our content out there to the YouTube world. Subscribe if you haven't already. And there you go. So get your questions in, and let's rock and roll. Let's introduce the panel. We, of course, have got Xylo Takedown from Takedown Games is here.
Hey, what's up, Skewers? What's going on, everybody?
We've got our returning champion on a 900-year streak. Warrior from Warrior Presents is here.
Tried and true.
That's right.
What's happening?
Warrior's been our grand champion since the sinking of Atlantis. I don't think anybody will ever dethrone him. Just throwing that out there.
The sinking of Atlantis.
Yeah, we're talking BC timeline. And then last, we've got Bad Young Maurice here with us. The opposite of good old Maurice that's usually here with us. Oh, don't do that. You just Finn just shit his pants.
That was not as bad as the stupid witch, but yeah, that wasn't. Good old
Maurice, how are you this morning, sir?
My throat hurts a little bit after that.
That's
good.
What you get for scaring Finn, but it was worth it, wasn't it?
Pretty good. How's everyone doing this morning?
We're doing good. So I hope everyone's got coffee or donuts or whatever you need to get your day started. Maybe it's a Twinkie and the diabetes like Finn. I don't know. Everyone's different. But sit back, grab your drinks, grab your snacks. We're going to get this thing started. Go ahead and get those questions in. We're going to get that to the panel. I'm sure more panelists will show up eventually. So we'll get to... we'll add them to our list of wonderful panelists here. We usually like to start the show with what's on everyone's mind. We know what's on Finn's mind, Twinkies and Oreos and basically large quantities of sugar. Warrior, anything particular on your mind this week? Anything on your mind about the game, anything like that?
Yeah, so I was really excited about all of the new content that they had coming out for you guys. And then it comes to find out, I guess they're just running some extra assault battles and some double drops. Is that the deal? Sounds like.
Yeah, just more events and double drops for right now.
Terrible mod packs.
Yeah, I saw the mod pack, $75 for 6 mods that had 4 of them had speed. That's 6 speed to start, and a couple of my friends a couple people that I know of in Ma bought those packs just to see, because 6-speed to start is pretty amazing. So they bought the pack just to see if it would roll. And one of them, the speeds did not roll. The other one got like a 9 speed.
Yeah.
Got like a 3 on it. So super, super sucky. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, don't buy those packs. Don't buy those packs. I mean, that's... Please... This is a public service message from Ranger J 1999. Don't buy those mod packs specifically. Just don't do it. When you have something that's RNG related, you shouldn't buy damn packs. But I digress. Good old Maurice, I know you love those new packs. How many did you buy?
None.
Oh, you didn't like.
I mean, I don't care. I mean, yes, they're all max rolls for all the stats, but it's just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, just the buyer's remorse on those packs. Like after you buy them, like Warrior's example, they're just like, ugh, just like you buy them and you just feel terrible about it. It doesn't matter which one you buy, it just like.
It's true.
There's no dirty shower in the world that takes that off.
No, there's not enough bleach. There's just not. Zalo, you didn't buy those packs, did you?
Oh hell no, dude.
No, I didn't think so.
You mentioned a couple of different ways that you could spend your money that you'd buy those $25 packs with, like on the lunch stream the last few days. I mean,
turn your volume up a little bit, Zalo. It's a little hard to hear you because I know you're speaking into the mic and stuff.
gotcha.
There you go. That's much better. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, we got those ridiculous packs. We've got announcements for more battles and more and double drops and things of that nature. Not tickets for the new Galactic Legends event, which sucks because I am now starting to farm those tickets for the Galactic Legend event, and that sucks. So, not much else going on. Just GAC, TW's happening right now. I mean, anything else on anybody's mind before we start getting to some of these questions, which I'm sure will be related to it, but anything else?
We have some questions in chat.
Xylo, I know that, but
no. But it's for Xylo.
Oh.
What is over your left shoulder?
Kind of looks like a baby.
No, that's not what it is. Right by the window. No, other side. The thing that's probing up behind.
It's like a hat. What is that?
No.
Lower. All the way back there.
That.
Oh,
it is a
cock.
finger.
Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. It is a finger. For those of you wondering in chat what the hell that was, it was a finger.
Kind of.
Yeah, you buy those $75 mod packs and you go sit on that.
Yeah. And say, "I'm number one. I'm number one."
And my prostate's good.
Moon River.
You gotta have like a foam finger accessory, right?
Yeah, it's not a penis. Quit saying that. Like Xylo would sit there and have you're gonna have to move that, Xylo, because it looks like you have a dildo behind you right now. Well, yeah, there you go. Good job.
Out of context is very weird looking, just in the shadow of the light.
It just didn't look right. Yeah,
sports memorabilia.
See that like that? Yeah, that works. The
sports stuff.
Yeah, the penis in the background was not where it's not happening. So, no, it's not a red lightsaber, folks.
Apologies.
All right, we got the questions coming in. Panel, I think, is ready. We're warmed up. We're ready to rock and roll. Fanny, have you got the questions ready to go?
I am gathering them right now.
All right.
Yep. Do we want to talk about anything? Or are we ready to jump
There's
in?
really nothing else to talk about, man. I mean, that was the only content that we got was the announcements and stuff. I mean, we didn't really get anything else related. Just as a programming note before we get started, that right after this, I'm going to go right into my GAC. We're going to go hot and heavy into it because I have to go back up the hill
to fetch a pail of water?
I wish that was the only thing I had to dick around with that stupid hill.
With bricks inside?
We've got We're almost at the end though, but I've got to dig out some piping that's on for the drainage and stuff. So,
Have you stopped
That's a
punching the
fun
trees,
day.
Ranger?
what's that, Nev?
We haven't.
Nev, what's that?
I was just asking if you'd stopped punching trees.
Yeah, I tried the Minecraft stuff again yesterday to see if it can make my life more easier. Nope. I was not able to punch trees and get a bunch of wood from it. I was not able to carry 40 bricks at once in my bag or my mining tool with me. So, yeah, none of that worked. It was just good
No.
old-fashioned, regular human, real-world labor.
Damn. So it's not as it's not as easy as it looks in Minecraft then.
No. Finn makes it look easy when he plays Minecraft. But one day, Finn will visit me here, and I'm going to make his ass just do something on the hill just so he can get a taste of it. So he can be like, hey. And I'm like, because he's probably going to resist. I'm like, but I've got Twinkies. You want this box of Twinkies? He'll be like, yes. Then get your monkey ass up that goddamn hill. Nev, how are you this morning, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. The red mist is gone. I mean, I'm still a little upset and angry from yesterday. I went a little bit nuts on CG.
Went a little bit nuts.
I've burnt any bridge, and yeah.
Well, there had to be a bridge for there to be burned down in the first place.
That is a very, very good point. I did kind of go off at the deep end, and
oh, I do it all the time.
I'm still.
You'll be
You
fine.
want to know something? I'm kind of still there. I logged in, and the pack is still there, and as long as that pack's still up, I'm going to refer to whoever came up with the idea and implemented the idea. I would, because it's still there, and it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be up. Pack shouldn't be up. Simple as that.
No, it's something new. That's what it said. This is something new, never seen before.
Never seen before.
Never seen before. Hopefully, never to be seen again.
We shouldn't be seeing it now, but
No,
hey.
but, I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, there it is. All right, Clash joined us. Clash, how are you, my friend?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Yes, Clash looks the most awake out of all of us.
Well, when you get three kids that wake you up at 5:30, it's,
I know. I'm right there with you, man. Right there.
yeah.
The children. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. Finn's gathering the questions. We were just talking about that god-awful mod pack, Clash. I'm sure you bought both of them.
They're perfect for scoundrels. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so I did the small one just because I wanted to see,
You were tempted
whatever.
by fate just to see what would happen.
because I saw what people were talking. Never before seen.
Mhm.
I don't know. I have a couple of those old school percent,
Yeah.
both primary and secondary mods still from whenever they were first released. So it's like, I don't know, it's not never before seen. I guess sold, yes, but
They meant the pack. Never
Mhm.
I
before.
saw some of those kind of mods, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you're smart.
God. I'm sure we'll get questions about those god-awful packs. I'm sure they're on their way. But, yeah. But public service announcement, guys. Make sure you're washing your hands, following social distancing. Again, we want to keep everybody safe. We got to look out for one another. So that's our public service announcement for the coronavirus.
Yeah,
don't wanna
and
talk
make sure
about
you
it
wash your hands like you're about to put in your contacts after cutting jalapenos.
Yes. I mean, I do the hospital style. I've got anytime I go get the mail, put the mail down, we have it separated, and then I go and literally do this, and then hot water, and then just disinfect the crap out of my hands and stuff.
Yeah, it was funny because it was I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago. I was in my kids' little bathroom that they've got between the two rooms, and I go in there. I'm looking for something else, and I find one of those big tubs of Clorox disinfectant wipes, and I'm like, I show my wife, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's like finding treasure in your house at this point."
Yeah, we use those a lot. We bought a lot of those. Well, we've always got those on hand, but yeah, anytime we get any kind of package or anything, we literally like when we get food orders, we literally
Throw
take
one
a
in.
Clorox wipe and just wipe the surfaces of all the boxes and containers for the food, just to be safe, So it's just little stuff like that you have to do. We all have to change some of our habits and stuff. It's weird when I go for my long walks and stuff. Sometimes I'll stop by the store. I always carry with me a mask and gloves. So as soon as I walk in, I look like, a bad version of Bane. you know. So like, come for some Cheetos and Coke. Stay 6 feet away.
That's pretty good.
All right, Finn, you got the questions. We got the panel. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, Finn, I leave it to you. Pick whoever you like. Give him a question.
I'll just go in order that I see him on screen here. So I'll start with Xylo on mine.
Then that would be me, and I'm not answering questions.
No, you're too exhausted. It's okay.
I'm barely.
The panel is here to do it for you.
Yeah, please, panel, help me. I'm in slave labor mode still. It's going to be another few days before I finally can relax. But then, just to make things worse, it's when I get this one project done, I've got 2 more to do. So, and the material's already been ordered and it's on its way. So I'm going to be on that hill for a while. And I was going to throttle my mom yesterday. Like, what do you mean you ordered all this timber? Oh, well, I figured since we did the top part, we're going to finish the rest of it. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. The things I do to help my mother out. All right.
All right. First question, Xylo, for you from Darth Scion 1972. And the question is there a counter for Rey when they have Rey, Watt, GK, Gas, and Hero Finn? My Darth Revan Watt Malak can't kill it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly I haven't seen so much content on Rey and Kylo. I was kind of referencing that the other day, but I mean, honestly, right now the way everything's looking with the ultimate abilities, I don't think you're beating them without Rey or Kylo. I mean, I've heard stuff about Palpatine. I've heard stuff about Darth Revan and Watt. It's really RNG based too as well. I mean, I don't know. I honestly I can't answer that one. I mean, I would just think that you would need at least Rey to match it or Kylo. You need one of the legends to match it right now. That's my opinion or my knowledge.
I'll open it up to anyone. Do any of you guys know a counter? I know Rey right now is a little bit of a difficult thing to get like true counters on or anything, but are any of you guys aware of any counters for that team? Rey, Watt, GK, Gas, and Hero Finn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we actually our stream on Thursday we had 2 guests on that have really been dedicating a lot of time to it. Rey to me is the easy one to beat. I think Rey's much easier to beat than Kylo. I don't know about that specific comp, but the team basically JKR, Jedi Knight Revan, and you're going to want to use both the Yodas and Gas, and then the 5th. A lot of people are using Thrawn. You can use Bastila.
Are these Reys that have ultimates that they're beating?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So. The teams vary. I think it does take a very specific modding strategy. I can beat Rey pretty easily without the ultimate. I haven't got a chance to really try one outside of TW that was half picked apart, but I haven't got a chance to try the ultimate yet. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think these Galactic Legends are going to be nearly as tough to beat as everyone anticipated. It's just going to take a little practice and a little patience. I think we're going to get there pretty soon.
Good old Maurice just berry bombed the entire world. I can't even believe this.
No, there's a lot of videos. A lot of people have put out those videos with like the Darth Revan, Brood Alpha, and I don't know. There's like a mixture of 3 teams they put out for countering Rey. I think that one still works kind of.
Dude, even if he has clothes on, I can envision him without clothes. This is a berry bomb. I can't handle it.
You like that?
Berry bombed in your life ever. You've been berry bombed now.
Yeah, it's family friendly. Berry bomb, family friendly.
If you want to, good old Maurice, shout out the people. It was Micaeus, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce the other name because I'll say it wrong. So if you want to say the name.
Kiaway, I got
Kiaway.
it.
There we go.
Kiaway, yeah. Kiaway actually just put out a really good one with all Jedi team, like right before our stream went out. You can. I got both their links in the video itself of our stream. Micaeus has done all sorts of stuff with Jedi. He even did a Jedi one with Jedi Knight Guardian just to prove the principle of the core 4, I guess you could say. And these are yes, you have to break up your Gas and your Jedi Knight Revan, but the other teams consist of Brood Alpha and your Darth Revan and Thrawn, all these mixes of characters.
Yeah.
You got Shaak Ti for your clone still, so this team isn't. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It won't tear up your roster too much. So that's kind of why I like it. We'll see what develops. So I'm excited to see. A lot of you guys have really put in a lot of effort. We've all been stuck at home. So a lot of people have been putting in effort to these counters, and there's a lot of good stuff on some of the smaller channels on YouTube. They got a lot of really good stuff floating around. So yeah, I got a little excited about that one. I'm out of breath. Sorry.
And again, like me personally too, it's like there's only 2 Rays on my shard and no Kylo. One of them has the ultimate, and I just can't get past the one with the ultimate. He's running Malik and L3 on the team with Poe and Finn. It's pretty nasty. I mean, again, it's got the ultimate, so.
Okay. Yeah, and it's going to definitely be different between GAC and Squad Arena, right? Because you have a lot more options with Squad Arena because you can mix and match without wrecking teams and, yeah, figuring those things out. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. Yep, and Guido Maurice will, like you said, he'll post the links to their channels in chat. So just be on the lookout for them. Thank you, Guido Maurice. Okay, next question for Nev. So Nev, question to you from Ouchie is the guild we're playing in Territory Wars has 2 Relic 7 Galactic Legend Rays right in the middle. Any advice for how to get rid of them? We are only at 200 million active GP, so it was surprising to see them both. Nev?
Oh, that was to me. Sorry, I had to put my earphones out. I didn't hear the first part of the question. Could you repeat the question, please, Finn?
Fantastic, Jedi Academy. All right. Sorry. Okay, so Ouchie's question is, the guild we're playing in Territory Wars has set 2 Relic 7 Galactic Legend Rays right in the middle. Any advice for how to get rid of them? We're only at 200 million active GP, so it was surprising to see them both.
Yeah, use the counters that Maurice just talked about.
Okay.
I guess I really expected that. I mean,
you know, there's only a couple of counters out there. You've got to use those, unless you just want to, you know, give up. You can just, I mean, you could, that is an option. Give up. Tell the guild, yep, don't worry about it. Just forget it. We'll scratch this. We'll scratch this territory war down to experience. Or you could, you know, attempt those counters, and yeah, it's going to screw up your teams because you've got to do a mishmash. But you know what? A couple people making that sacrifice. This all you got to do. Those are the only 2 options: give up or use those counters that have recently come up. People have recently come up with.
If you're gonna, I mean, if you're in a position to lose, just go in there and practice. Who cares if you lose? Like, who cares if you turn?
Do a bit of theory crafting.
Yeah.
See if you can see how many different
so
how many
that's
different
option 3
factions you
then.
can use.
Option 3 then is don't give up. Obviously, you're not going to get through it, but use it for practice.
Go in there, waste all your meta characters instantly. It's just go waste them.
that's science right there. See, that's the way you do science. That's
Scientific
perfect.
method.
It is. That is. All right, let's go to Clash. So Clash, next question for you from Darsion 1972. Question is CG tone deaf? We're in the middle of a pandemic. Lots of us are not working. And to put the worst value ever with the mod pack, anyone else think the timing of the packs is just bad optics?
I studied at the Department of Diplomacy department, so I will do my very best to be as middle ground on this as I can. You know, EA obviously as a corporation has been pushing stay and play as a hashtag, you know, for other games that they do, and so a lot of times what'll happen in the corporate world is someone will do something up top, and then that'll just kind of get cascaded downstream to all the little subdivisions of a company. And for CG, who we all have talked about ad nauseum on this show, is not in the same place they were, you know, maybe a year or 2 ago in terms of development of the game. Their contribution to that effort has to be quick, has to be something that can turn around easily, and it has to give the people that ultimately fund the game a feeling of like they're going to get something out of it. And while we can debate how good or bad the value is based on actual dollars and cents if you want to, I don't blame them for having to be included in it, right? I don't necessarily think they were going to say, well, we don't have what we need to make this really worth anything, so we're just not going to do anything. That wasn't an option, I don't think, for them based on where they sit in the corporate hierarchy. So again, you can bash the packs all you want, but I'm not going to say that the people that actually developed the game were sitting back maniacally thinking, oh my gosh, how can we like screw the players again? I think that's just what they had, and that was probably the best they could come up with on a short turnaround.
2 people. It's only 2 people. One person conceived the idea. One person implemented the idea. So the reality is, it's only 2 people within the organization that are cowards and not particularly nice people.
Okay. So hold on, think about it like this: you're a VP of, communication, or VP of the the game decision, like the game architecture, and you get your boss EA, hey, we're doing the same thing. You guys need to roll something out with it. You have 2 options. You can either say, well, no, I'm not going to, and they'll say, well, we'll find someone else that can, and so therefore you probably don't get to feed your family, or you do it and you try to make the best of it, which again, not many good options. Is that person a coward?
It's not feed if they don't do it, they're not feed the. You cannot use that. Is not a defense that can be the person that suggested it. The person that suggested it shouldn't be suggesting it in the first place. There are other options for it to be suggested. I don't think for a second that this was some VP from up on high saying, could you put these these 6 mods with this amount of currency, with this amount of 625k of gold, and these 6 mods and this precise amount of slicing. No. That's somebody in game. That's someone that knows what the materials do and what it does. This isn't some Rupert sat at the top of a tree going, oh, these few things, put them in a pack, price it at 75, put it in the game. Well, I don't want to. Well, if you don't put it, get out on the streets. That's not the way that kind of thing. That's not the way it works. That's not the way that stuff gets put. That's not the way that stuff gets put in the game. Someone on high dictating to someone beneath them, you will put this in the game, or you can go start finding yourself a new job. That's not the way. That's not the way it works.
It's not necessarily that they'll lose a job, but the license is controlled by EA, not Capital Games. They could easily move it.
It's 2 people within EA make the decision. I think
possibly
it's probably taken out of CG's hands.
Mm-hmm.
But this is still a cowardly. The maths don't add up. There's less than $20. The $20 crystal pack is 2,800 crystals. It costs less than 2,800 crystals to individually purchase everything that's in this pack.
And I think that's
disgusting.
That may be more towards your point, Clash. And again, I want to get verification. Is that we've had in this game, unfortunately, a major disconnect between what the devs think is value and what the players think is value, right? We have these mods that are in there, and if all of the mods were showing 6 speed, or maybe were already pre-rolled in some way that they already had certain hits and were level 15, right? I think we'd be looking at these mods a little different, but that's not what they're doing. They're basically selling us RNG at an inflated price. It seems like there's that disconnect between players and devs and what's valuable. And is that really playing into the game now, that it really does feel like the devs are pushing out things? And of course, they're going to have to push things out to make money. That's what they're out to do. They're a business, but they don't know what the players want well enough to actually make those decisions, and they're not asking for help.
Yeah, that disconnect, I think, is less to do with CG and more to do with EA. That's my point. Is that, if you want to blame somebody, I would put it more at the hands of EA as.
I would still put it more at the feet of EA than CG. But I mean, CG still, there's. I mean, I get that CG can't just come out and say, in posts and stuff like that, hey, it wasn't us, it was EA, it was our evil overlords that made us do it. I get that they can't just come out and say that. But it'd be nice if they could
come out and say it was CG and not EA. Their evil overlords approve everything. Their evil overlords don't make anything. I'll straight up tell you guys that. EA is an evil overlord that doesn't know or do anything.
They're the ones that make the decisions on hiring, like the heads of state at CG, though, right?
Yeah, but they have oversight, and that is it. But they fully expect micromanagement to be done on a micro level for each developer. For example, when I said to the developers, you guys should build a pack for Omegas. This is ridiculous. Everyone is Omega 4. This was almost 3 years ago. And I complained for nearly a year. I was like, you got to do Omega packs. You got to do Omega packs. They finally listened to me and they built an Omega pack. This was the developers who built the Omega pack. It was the developers who built the Galactic Legend pack. It's the developers who build the packs for the new characters when they bring a new character out, and they build the packs. They're uncreative. The developers are. They're uncreative. It's why our packs in our games suck. In other games, the developer packs are amazing. It's because some games the developers have more creativity, and they go, why don't we give this, and this, and other developers aren't as creative, and so their packs suck more. But every pack that they generate, that they build, they have to send to EA and say, will you approve this? And then EA looks at it and goes, okay, fine, we'll approve it. So they build it, and then they send it to EA for approval. So, but everything is masterminded at the local level. If there is absolutely no blaming anyone other than Capital Games for trash as far as pack quality. Every bit of the creativity, if you even want to use that word, comes from the local level. And yes, does EA hire an individual to basically work at Capital Games to kind of oversee the project, to kind of make sure that EA's best interests are at hand financially and stuff? Of course, because they want to make sure somebody's there making sure that the game is profitable. But every single pack that's ever been made in history has been made by not just one, but they do conferences where they all get together and they all kind of brainstorm. This isn't like a one person or two person thing. When I talked to them about packs, there literally was like 8 people that got together with me, and then they took it to another group of people who crunched numbers. And then this group of people were an analytics team, and that analytics team was like 6 or 8 guys in a room that spent 8 hours trying to disprove me, and then they proved me right and said, never mind, he was right, let's do it. And so they have an entire group of people at Capital Games that do the numbers to see whether what they're going to do is going to work or not. So EA doesn't even know. They're flowing numbers to try and prove yes or no whether a pack's going to make them money or not.
And that was my initial point, was not that the good or badness of the pack itself wasn't up for debate. I think that's pretty clear. It's a bad pack. But the whole stay and play campaign, which was kind of what I initially led with, that's an EA campaign that was then sent down to CG. I don't think we would have seen this pack like this if that mandate hadn't been given to them, if that makes sense. Like, they just kind of said, well, this next thing we got up on the shelf, we'll just roll into this campaign and we'll go with it. All right, pack sucks, we know that, but the whole campaign for promoting this now currently is on EA.
Well, you guys don't have to buy the packs either. Like, you don't have to buy them.
Don't buy the packs.
Like that's an option as well.
Well, I mean, all of us have given some options of what better mods could look like for that value, or if they're, you know what I mean, going to sell the packs in general or sell mods in general like that. At least make it worth the value. Like Clash mentioned, you know, the extra statistic on offense with offense percentage as a primary, or already rolling with speed. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways. This should be a learning experience if they're going to put out more of these packs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They haven't learned in the past. This isn't the first time they put out kind of a crappy pack.
This is also true.
Yeah, but this is the worst pack this is the worst pack without a doubt that they've ever put out.
I saw that one pack that was like the 75, whatever it is. I was just like, oh no.
This is the worst pack that they've ever put out. I still don't think that this pack should. I mean, I don't buy packs, but I look at this pack and I think there are poor saps out there that are going to spend $75 on this, that are getting completely and utterly ripped off because it's not value for money. It has zero value, and people are going to buy it unsuspectingly, thinking that they're getting value, and that's what's disgusting about the pack. It shouldn't exist. It's predatory.
Yeah. The other packs you can always debate, like,
Yeah,
what they
there's a
come
debate.
with. There's, I mean, like, there's certain
Think about
things in the
the
pack and
100
stuff. Go ahead, Warrior.
I was just gonna say, think about the $100 pack you can buy as a new player. Whatever it's called. What's that pack called?
Hyperdrive
that you can
bundle,
buy?
yeah.
Overdrive.
Yeah, the Hyperdrive bundle for $100, and then think of this $75 pack for 6 months. I mean, value versus that. It's disgusting, the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit to the next question there, Dr. Finn. Oh, medicine woman extraordinaire.
So next question is for Warrior.
Oh.
So Warrior, question to you from RSG Vormax, and the question is, what would you prefer next? Clone Wars Season 7 content, Mandalorian content, or Eternal Twins related content?
All right. God damn it. It's too early in the morning for me for that nonsense. Who was that from?
All right.
It is
So-
it is a legit question.
From who?
Yeah, it is a
I
legit
want their
question.
name.
And if I had to choose, because I know how long it's taken them to build and roll stuff out, I know that November is probably going to be Mandalorian, I would say that they need to start right now working on Mandalorian content. So by the time Mandalorian comes back around, they would have Mandalorian Season 1 characters built and an event, all the events for Mandalorian built, and I think they should have some sort of a raid, and I think they should focus on mini raids and or mini events like assault battle style events. They don't have to necessarily, this is the thing, they kind of go big or go home. They think about events like the Sith raid, and it takes them like a year to build, but if they built assault battle style events that are almost like a marquee event, but a little bit bigger, but maybe not as chintzy as a marquee event, but maybe not as big as a Sith raid. You know what I mean? Go somewhere in the middle that maybe takes a month to build or a month and a half, like 6 to 8 weeks to build, and then build the characters necessary for it. And then give the characters out early enough that people could actually farm them up for that event, and make it a free-to-play friendly event, and say this year, hey, we're going to have some fun, we're going to release some Mandalorian content, then we're going to release an event afterwards and communicate with the community. This is going to be a really fun thing. They could have 2 trains going at the same time. They could have new galactic legends that they're working on that they communicate about, that people would be totally wailing on, and they could release this Mandalorian content at the same time. It'd be like stimulus overload, but it would be it would totally and completely rock. They would bring so much revenue in this year, it's not even funny. They would have the whales following more galactic legends, 2 more galactic legends for the fall. They could pick 2 more characters like Mace and someone else, and they could be doing like a setup for clones for next spring again, with 2 more or whatever, but bring out 2 galactic legends first, and then they could do that. But I would say they should definitely shoot for spending the next 6 months trying to work in Mandalorian, so when the Mandalorian season hits, they have a spread of like 8 characters that they can bring out, like boom, 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 boom. Like every week a new character is being dropped in a new event, and each event is a marquee event, or maybe a couple of them will be different types of events, and then there'll be a new event, kind of like an assault battle, but bigger and better than that. And it not be as redundant as an assault battle, a little more fun, kind of like a raid, but not quite as big and as arduous as a raid, if that makes sense.
No, makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, it would be. I think they either go chintzy, and it's paper rock scissors event that took them 4 weeks to make or less, or they go like Sith raid 1 year. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing in between. Like why can't they build something in the middle? And I think that it's all or nothing. They think too black and white sometimes. They need to get out of the box.
Yeah. I agree. Ranger, you want to comment on the Eternal Twins part of that?
I'm going to punch you in the face and then pee on you.
All right. Good old Maurice. Next question for you. And love the name. Question is from Bill Buttlicker, and the question is...
That's a perfect person to be answering good old Marisa question. Sounds like a good old Carolinian. It's a
Billy
Carolinian.
Buttlicker. The question is, how long does it take to farm tickets just to unlock the Galactic Legends? I'm farming up. Should start farming them next week. Also, our prices have never been lower.
Oh boy.
I had a chart at some point, and they're floating around. It's I've been refreshing all 50s, all 100s every day, and I'm just now, hopefully later today, going to try for the tier 6 for the first time. I think it's about a 25% drop rate. So if you really want to speed it up, you can do the 6 energy nodes, but chances are, if you're similar to me, like if you're at the point of the game where you can get a Galactic Legend, there's really nothing in the 6 energy nodes you need. Me personally, I just went out for the stun guns and the Kyrotex over and over and over again with my dark side energy. It makes it kind of tough though. So like me, like today's light side drop day, I just went through and did the Poe node, the Finn node, the Vulture Droid node. That's all I'm going to do. I'm right back to dark side. Like you can't afford to farm anything light side if you want to get them quickly, which is unfortunate.
See, I'm taking a different route. I'm following what Loki did. He did for the tickets. He went 1D for the battles, just so he can get the most max energy usage for drop rate. Still said the drop rate sucks, but I've got Galactic Legend Ray now that I'm going to be farming the tickets for. So
is 1D the node that gives you the 3 white furnaces?
Let me look real quick.
If that's the case, that light side that's not bad, because then you could just convert all those furnaces into the first relic salvage.
Yeah, you get the fusion furnaces. Yeah.
Yeah, the dark side doesn't really have a value. I guess I didn't really look too hard, but
I'll look at 1D for let me look at dark side what 1D is.
Yeah, so that's actually a much better quick.
No, 1D sucks for the dark side.
Yeah, the dark side doesn't really have any of those special nodes, but it just takes time.
Oh no, you get the blast tech, so you can you save a bunch of those and use those for scrap and stuff. So that's still not bad. Not bad. It's not as good as the light side, but yeah. But that was kind of Loki's philosophy, and I'm going to follow Loki's philosophy on it. So every day I'll do my 6 hard node battles, but that's because I'm farming Sith Trooper and Hux, and then everything now is going to be going toward getting tickets. I'll be using all my crystal energy refreshes. Tickets. I'm so excited because I was like, yes, I've unlocked Ray. Shit, I have a long way to go still. Damn it.
If you only do like a couple refreshes a day, like let's say you don't really get top 100s and you're free to play, whatever the case is, then then the Ranger's approach is going to get him or her much quicker for you. Like, because these 10 nodes is grueling.
Yeah, I'm using my get one to just farm nothing but stun guns, and then Kyrotex I'm getting from other spots. So, once I get all the tickets, then I'll go back to farming just hard straight up for Kyrotex and stuff once I go for like tier 4, 5, and 6, right? Because that's what they don't tell you is that for tier 4, 5, and 6 for the Galactic Legends, that's your Galactic Legend you're using. So if you don't have the 6 Zetas, you don't have the gear, you're going to farm that shit before you start running there, because you will get beat horribly. So yeah, just prepare yourself. So.
And watch videos on the tier 6s. Those aren't cakewalks. Like I've had a lot of people message me frustrated they're wasting 70 tickets on these, for the exact same reason Rangers said. So have everything ready. Don't go in there and just try it with your gear
with a gear 9 Ray. Not going to be good.
It's not going to work.
That's not going to. That's not going to be good for you.
Cap on the tickets again.
I think it's 144.
So once you get to 144, you can't get extra. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to do the battles or do something.
You can stack enough to do 2 missions in one day, basically.
Yeah. So. All right. Next question, Finn. Who's our next contestant on the Jedi Academy?
So the next one, actually, it's similar to what we were just talking about. So we'll go around the corn here. We had a couple of questions similar from NR Wilson and Elliot Worsfold. And the question is, we'll start with Xylo and then kind of go around. What is everyone farming for double drops? So start with you, Xylo.
Me, it's just exclusively Cryotex, and then a few more of the finisher pieces. Cantina, obviously, relic mats and stuff like that. I actually just took Sith Trooper to Gear 13 last night in Relic 2. Just need to get him to 5, and then Phasma and Veteran Han are the last 2 for me. So I'm gonna try and grind out a bunch of these materials, get Kylo within the next few days. So that's the plan.
All right.
Okay, Nev.
I have not altered my farming one iota on any of my 3 accounts. If I get a double, great. If not, I really could not care less. Not changing my farming one bit.
I like
And
that.
what
Stay
is
on
that
target.
Yep. And what are you farming? Just really quick. In general, you don't have to go through all 3 accounts. But.
Yeah, no. I mean, but my 2 lower accounts, I'm kind of just bumping up my ships so that I can get a 7-star MILF, and I'm just kind of like working on Dark Side and stuff like that. Working on my Sith Triumvirate and working on Rebels for CLS.
We can skip Clash because it's Scoundrels, so we already know that.
That's funny. What's funny is when I've actually done farming Scoundrels. No, I'm on right now light side. Dark side. I'm on trying to finish off my whatever the hell that thing is, the Hyena Bomber, and the rest is just going to be materials.
Gotcha.
Can you repeat light side? You lag just a second. When you said
Sorry, yeah, light side is Resistance Hero Poe. I'm 41 of 100.
Okay. Warrior.
He's
Never
farming
mind.
he's farming that straight cash, homie.
I would have the same answer as Nev. Anytime there was double drops, I never changed what I was doing. I would just continue doing the same thing. So that would be my advice to everybody else. Keep doing what you're doing, and you should always be balanced in your farming. So whatever is double dropping, you just are going to be getting more that day of that item.
Yep. And good old Maurice.
Same as Evan Warrior. I just plugging away at what I normally do. It just so happens these days I get double. Like I've never really, I don't need anything really in Canteen. There's nothing I really need, so there's no point in me really to stock up energy, and then my guild kicks me out because I missed my 600. So just normal stuff. It's cool. Today being the exception, I did go over to light side temporarily to get Poe in. And I finished the Vulture Droid actually with the double drop. So that's nice, but everything else just the same. I am looking forward to the mod battle double drop. I actually farmed a few mods this week, so I might have some extra materials to play with. So hopefully I get something good for my first order. So we'll see.
Very nice.
Cool. And really quick here, before we jump to the next question, we're getting close to the halfway mark. So for all of you guys that are watching, thank you for the 122 people that are watching live right now. I'm glad you're spending your Saturday morning with us and the awesome panel here getting your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes questions answered. Please make sure that you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. And if you have questions of your own, put them in the chat, starting with the word question so it gets picked up by the bot and we'll get them answered. Still time to get your questions in right now. Before we have to put a stop to the question gathering. So if you have questions about anything related to Galaxy of Heroes, you've already seen that we have an awesome panel, so let them answer the question.
Now is the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Xylo, let's start with you again, going around the corn. What do you think about the new early player evaluation test program? It's actually player evaluation early program or something where the acronym is actually P.
Is it P?
I don't know what that program
Yeah. They actually put it as, hold on, I'll give you the exact wording, but it is called the Player Early Evaluation
Test Program.
Yeah.
Is it like the new Game Changer program or something?
No, it's another post similar to that beta sign up post that they put before and just ignored for months.
It's another post that they're putting up to ignore.
But it's a Survey Monkey asking people to join effectively a beta program, but it's not what they're calling it. They're calling it the P program, basically. So, yeah. What are your thoughts?
What do you think about P?
P sounds like something that they're already regretting, and they're gonna pick it up and put it down just as fast as they picked it up. So they're gonna leave everybody in the water again, just like they have. They're gonna leave everybody wondering what's going on, and they're gonna be like, "Oh well, we're so excited to test this, that, and the other," and then they're not gonna give you anything. So there you go.
Anyone else? Any thoughts on that?
They haven't even updated the dev tracker, for Christ's sakes. They're not going to do anything with this. The only reason that is on the forum and the website is because people are so enamored about the packs. So this is their idea of trying to throw up a distraction. And I ain't filling out the Survey Monkey. I wouldn't be one of their testers if they desperately needed it. Yeah, screw them. I can think of more colourful language to use other than screw them, but let's keep it PG.
So you're not feeling the P, is what you're saying?
Oh,
Jeff.
I'm not. Oh no, definitely not.
You're
feeling the
not
P.
in
They
favor
can pee
of the
off.
P. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Nev is still carrying over some of that anger from
Oh God,
yesterday.
no! I am still carrying over a lot of anger and angst from yesterday.
I'm still dealing with gas, and I got to deal with pee now. Come
Yeah.
on.
Well, I've been a part of previous beta programs, right?
Right.
And they're really cool. I mean, it is cool to be a part of. Is it a small group? Yes. But ultimately, all these groups kind of get disbanded because of the players, right? We all remember the Light Side TB, the very first one, debacle, where everyone knew Hoth the Rebel Soldier was coming. There's always leaked stuff coming out of these. There's always a person or two that wants to show everybody. And while it's appreciated, it does prevent them from really wanting to do anything like this. So I mean, I hope that they do this because they desperately need it. We say every single week on this show, every single person on this panel at some point or another has said they need to test. And so I hope they do go through and select, even if it's just a very, very small group, whether it be big spenders, whether it be content creators. I don't know who it's going to be, but they need feedback from the player base. Desperately need feedback. Like, they might not have had these packs we're all upset about. They might have restructured this Galactic Legend event a little bit. Who knows? Do they take the feedback of the beta players often? Meh. That's up for debate. But it's, I don't know. I hope they do get something going, and I hope that if they do get something going, that none of us know anything about it, because then we don't. I don't know. Then you have to worry about it disbanding again. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't know. Just.
The problem is there's a right and a wrong way to do these programs, and just like they don't know how to build packs, sadly this development team doesn't know how to do beta programming. I'm a jerk, I guess, but we've made suggestions to them, and they actually did it correctly one time after suggestions were made, and the suggestion is communication. Oh, I know. What you do is you actually communicate to the community what's happening, what's coming out, what's going down. You actually beat the beta testers to the punch. If you tell the community what's in beta, then there's nothing for people to discuss. And then you let beta players or Pete players, whatever you want to call them, go in and test it. And then when they're in and testing it, they have nothing to discuss because everybody in the community knows what's coming. And so you can then have those players go in on a limited basis and test it and explain to, the developers, what they're finding bug-wise and things like that, and have fun or whatever. And when they go to tell their friends, even though they're told not to, people are going to go, yeah, we already know. They've communicated that there's an event coming out and blah, 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 whatever. So, and it builds hype anyway. And so it's okay. You should talk about the future, event coming up and the future character potentials that are coming up and stuff. Build hype. I mean, they talked about Galactic Legends for 8 months. It's okay. Do it. You know what I mean? But that's how you get out in front of those big things that are coming. And if it has to be tested, it has to be tested, but you have to get out in front of it. So, and their pushback will be, well, we can't talk about something from that far out of a quarter because of blah 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 blah. They'll have excuses. Well, the truth is it will get leaked if they have it tested, and so it's going to get out anyway. So that's a moot point. And communication is the best method because it deflates that. It actually prevents people from even wanting to discuss it. It also prevents misinformation and stuff like that anyway. But there's a right and a wrong way to do it. And most companies that do the beta testing will say, this is something that we're having coming out. This is what it's going to look like. Here's some preliminary info. And they did do that. The last time they did a beta, they said, this is what we've got coming out. GOTB, they showed screenshots of the dark side GOTB. And they said, this is, some of the things, this is what it's going to kind of look like, and we're going to beta test it. And they actually told everybody, the whole community, and then they've had beta testers beta test it. And then it wasn't even a big deal. And nobody cared. So, and nobody leaked anything because it was, they got in front of it. So they learned a little from that, but they're back to their non-communicative ways, so I'm not sure.
All right.
Of course, Fiji. I feel like they're just getting like pounded on, but they 100% deserve it. But they haven't done anything like good in a little while. It's kind of sad. Okay, let's go to the next question here. Who is next? Clash, question to you. We had a couple of similar questions from Slama MC and Agnati, and the question is, which is the better long-term investment, Supreme Leader Kylo or Rey?
Obviously it's Rey. Since I don't have an FO character above Gear 8, so I'm a little bit biased. I honestly, hard for me to say on the First Order one because I just literally hate them so much. But from everything I've seen, it does look like it's going to be the better PvE option. So if we get maybe a new raid or some form of a PvE thing, that might actually pay higher dividends for whatever characters that leads to. But currently, it seems like the Rey is the better choice. And not only that, I think the faction in general has just got more weapons that you can use with those people that are required for the event. So I just feel like the things that you have to gear up for First Order by themselves they don't make as much of an impact on a whole roster as what you would get from the Resistance faction. So that's my personal opinion. Obviously, it's a little bit biased, but it seems to be what I hear a lot of other people agree with as well.
I think they both have their place. They're both going to be stupid, right? We've seen how stupid they are with raids and everything like that. They both have their positives that are different. I don't know how else to put it. It's Kylo can do some crazy stuff, and so can Rey. So I mean, like I always tell people, pick the one you'd like to play because they're both they're just stupid. You're not going to be disappointed if you pick Kylo over Rey or Rey over Kylo. You're just not. So I mean, I'm going for Rey too, but for the reasons I for light side TOTB, and I like the Resistance, the more flexibility, but. Kylo's a monster too, so you're not going to lose out if you go for Kylo first. I don't think good old Maurice sitting there with Kylo's going, "Oh no!" I don't think you have any regrets of getting old Kylo Ren there, Galactic Kylo Ren there, do you, good old Maurice?
No, but I am looking at my TW board, and mine got one shot, so it's clearly not good, not that game breaking. So that was disappointing as hell. I was super excited to open it up. I stuck mine in the back because I was late, so I just kind of stuck him in a random zone, one shot. It's great. He's actually been one shot in both of my Grand Arenas too. Granted, one was for 46 banners and the other was for 48, but I mean, they're going down. They're beatable characters. It's probably just that my team sucks. I don't know. I guess I did go back to the drawing board on it, but I mean,
Did I hear that that they said that Kylo is a bug, that he's soloing the Sith raid? That's a bug.
Hux was the bug.
Hux was the bug, and they fixed it, right?
Yeah, and I will say I got all the way to P4. It's incredibly difficult without the ultimate. There's too much going on in P4 to solo it anymore without. Because what was happening is Hux was getting dominance with a non-First Order team, and then the characters were also Kylo was countering. It was extremely easy to solo because Kylo was countering all the time for 3 million damage. So and now he's not doing that. Hux is working properly now. It's still doable. It's extremely tedious, but it's. I think with the ultimate, you can come really, really close. Yeah, Sith raid, no longer a challenge.
I would want Kylo between the two of them because PvE is annoying to me, but I'd want to be able to at least get the achievements if I was still playing, and that would allow me to get the achievements and get first place at least once, so I could at least get the achievements, and that team would ensure that I could at least do it once. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure Arnold put out a video where you could solo the tank raid with just Kylo and I think it was Hermit Yoda. I think that's all you need.
Well, I had first place in both the other raids. It's just the Sith raid I hadn't gotten first place in, so he would give me the ability to at least score the highest one time at least, just to get that achievement. So, interesting that they did fix that already so fast. Wow.
All right. Next question. Let's rock and roll.
All right, next question for Nev. Sorry, I skipped you, Nev. I
That's all
I
right,
accidentally
buddy.
skipped in the
Yeah,
order.
don't care about that.
So Nev, question from Darsion 1972. He says, "Do you think Lightside TB will ever be full starred? Is this a placeholder for the duration of the game?"
Yeah, I mean, it'll be full star like in a million years from now. You know, once they've taken the relics from 7 all the way up to 14, and they've put in a few more characters, you know, so that people can get the millions and millions of GP they need in order to actually get all the stars. So, I mean, it'll happen eventually, but it's not going to happen for quite some time, in my estimation. I don't think it's a placeholder for anything. I just think that they made something with the future in mind. They didn't make something that people could complete now because, you know, that would be too nice of them.
They can be nice every now and then, maybe.
When was the last time they were nice? Seriously, when was the last time they were really nice?
I'm kind of just poking at Nev today.
Yeah, he's fired up today. This is awesome.
He is.
Excuse me, I can't remember the last time they were nice. You know what? I've been nice and diplomatic about them as much as possibly, so much so that people have referred to me as a shill. But just no now. From now on, they haven't been nice recently. They haven't done anything nice recently. They're not gonna do anything nice.
All right, Nev, I got a question for you. I didn't get to catch you guys last time. I'm gonna listen to your podcast today. Is some of this attitude carrying over from last night? Some of this sourness?
Some of the saltiness. What
Did you
about
give us a rant last night? Did we get a rant?
Oh God, I went off the deep end last night.
Excellent. Yes.
Paul was not pleased.
I look forward to it.
It'll be your highest rated one. Just pure unadulterated anger with the British accent.
Yes.
You can't underestimate the impact of the British accent with the anger. Just the whole confluence of awesomeness. All right.
Yes.
All right. Next question for Warrior. We're getting kind of the same similar topics here. So Warrior, question from Bill Buttlicker. In your opinion, Warrior, how much longer do you think the game has left? I'm going to play as long as it's active, but it seems CG is on autopilot and doesn't care any longer. What are your thoughts?
I don't know if that audio feedback was on your side or mine, so if I start to sound funky, let me know.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, so I've been looking at Sensor Tower, and I mean, it did 15 mil last month, so it's like they're still making money, man. As long as people keep blindly spending, they're going to keep putting this kind of crap out, you guys. And as long as it's Star Wars, you guys are going to keep playing. So I don't see it ending anytime in the next 3 years. I see you guys playing and complaining and them making 15 million a year. I don't see it going anywhere.
It is kind of interesting, though, to that point where they actually have a group of people willing to spend simply because of the Star Wars IP, and the quality isn't as good as they could be to try and capitalize. Like 50 million is a lot, but you feel like they could make more somehow
So
if they actually increase the quality.
There's a sunken fallacy, that happens, with spenders and I fell into it for a little while, where you spend so much, you feel like, well, I've spent so much, I have to keep playing. I've invested, use that word. I've invested so many thousands of dollars into this game that I have to keep playing. There's so much money into it. No, you don't. And whatever. It's a belief that you've spent so much money into something that it's like a car now or whatever. You got to keep doing it or whatever. But what happens is, if you keep playing, what you do is you keep spending. It's you never get out from underneath it. And then everybody else who's free to play, those guys, free to players are smart. They're playing it, they're enjoying it, and they're just enjoying the ride. They can complain all they want, but at the end of the day, they're not really invested, other than time, and time is time. So, especially during a pandemic, who cares, right? You got all the time in the world. So, but the people that are spending, 1,000 a week or 1,000 a month, are the real whales, and those are the people that feel obligated to continue spending that kind of money. and they have that kind of money to spend, and so they do spend that kind of money, and they're the ones that are making them the 15 million a month, 10 to 15 million a month, and until those people quit. But those people like Star Wars as much as you and I, but they have that invested money in there, and they feel like if they walked away from it or stopped spending, they would somehow lose that competitive edge, or that they would somehow be giving up something that they've invested in. So there's that, I don't know. It's a difficult thing to do. I did it, so I can tell you how difficult it is. It's psychologically one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. So I can tell you, there's not many people that could do what I did, because it took me 8 months of mental discussion before I was able to do it. So, and other people that I know that have done it that said the same thing. It took them 6 months to a year of mental preparation for them to even be able to break away from it. It's there's a lot of physiological factors. There's a lot of mental factors. There's a lot of things that are involved to do it. It's why I mothballed the account. Why I don't just go in and continue to maintain the account, because there's a lot of addictive natures, that have to do with this game. Would suck you back in if you tried to maintain the account or things like that. So, they use things to get you in daily and multiple times a day and things like that. So, people are going to continue to play. They're going to continue to spend. They're going to continue to, and it's all because of Star Wars. If this game was any other IP, it would be dead in the water at least 2 years ago, if not longer. So, because of Star Wars, it will continue to get away with murder. And they know it, and that's why they continue to put out $75 packs with 6 mods that are trash in it.
All right.
Okay. Next question is for good old Maurice.
Oh,
good old Maurice. Question to you from ND Fox. And the question is, I'm using Darth Revan, Malik, and Fallen Basti with my Supreme Leader Kylo in Arena. Is there a viable all First Order comp to run, or a better comp that doesn't take away from my Darth Revan for Grand Arena? I don't have the ultimate yet.
If you're running it offensively, you can use, now they fixed Huxley, that team, I'm assuming you're using Huxley with your Kylo and then the 3 Sith Empire. Now that they fixed Huxley, that team is still very good, because you've got 4 super meta characters. So the team's still good, but you can run Hux or Kylo lead, and then the other one, and then you go Sith Trooper, crew, and then you can make a case for the 5th. Offensively, I think First Order Officer is pretty good, but I think First Order Stormtrooper will hold a little better. I will say the team of all First Order tends, at least in my experience in my shard, these guys are going hard at the Kylos, testing out stuff. I will say the all First Order team is falling further than the Sith Empire team. But if you want to practice for Grand Arena, like Grand Arena defense, TW defense, you can use Hux or Kylo lead, and then those guys. So probably the 2 tanks, Sith Trooper, and then Hux and crew, or Hux and Supreme Leader is the best I've found. So.
All right.
Okay. And actually, maybe it's because it's the Easter weekend or there hasn't been much content. That's it for our serious questions for today.
Really? Wow. Well, let's just talk about our feelings, folks.
But we have the fun questions. We can start jumping into the fun questions while people have any other
feelings.
Feelings. Okay, I'm not going to keep singing. This is Jedi Academy.
We look like the Brady Bunch right now. If we
I
had
know.
2 more people, we'd look like the Brady Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Squares or Celebrity Squares or something like that. Play a game.
Oh, God.
Huh.
2 more people.
Tic-tac-toe.
Two more
I'll take
people.
Clash for the block, please.
Well, we'll get into the fun questions, and if we get questions, then we'll ask them. But otherwise, it's the Easter weekend. I know there's a lot of people, especially with kids and stuff at home, so we can always end early if there's no more questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go ahead and go through some fun questions. So this is a little bit of a math question that James O'Many gave. So everyone
we're screwed. Nobody here does math.
Get your papers and pencils ready.
All right, let me see here.
Here is the question for everyone. We're going to go around, ask everyone for their answer, and then we'll see if you got the correct one. So
Okay.
the question from him is, if a door number fitter needed to fit the numbers of 100 houses numbered from 1 to 100, how many 9s would he need? So I'll repeat the question, then we'll go around the corner to get everyone's answers. So if a door number fitter needed to fit the numbers of 100 houses, numbered 1 through 100, how many 9s would he need? Okay.
11.
Give you do 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 do. Do, 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 do.
12.
I can't find my pen. Where's my pen?
Hold on.
Oh, this is starting off awesome.
It's okay.
Damn it. All right, let's see. Clear the
Oh, the
7
best.
here.
Best thing ever. All right.
Hold on.
This is fantastic. Oh my god. All right. And James O'Many, if you're in the chat, get ready to post the answer. All right.
On Saturday.
I'm going to say...
Yeah, no. Saturday morning math. Okay. Xylo.
I'm going to say
start with
20.
you. Okay. Ranger says 20. Xylo.
Well, if you count like every individual 9, right, from like 90 to 99, you're like double incorporating those, and then 8 from that. So I'd say
We don't need the logic. We just need the answer.
I'm just giving my answer so that way, because I'm defending myself before y'all even start. Let's go.
He's preemptively explaining the reason why he's wrong. Awesome. Okay, continue. So what would be your final answer there? You're on mute, by the way, Xylo. What was your final answer, your number?
20.
20. Okay.
Don't be copying me.
Nev, what is your answer?
Well, it's 2. There's 2 answers. 18, if we're talking specifically about the number 9, but technically he doesn't need any 9s. He could just buy 38 6s and turn the 6s upside down.
That's not wrong.
Yep. Yes, you could. Assuming that it is one of the curved 9s, though. If it is not a curved 9 and it's a straight edge 9, then you cannot.
No,
You put a
that's-
6 upside down, it
Yeah.
still looks like a 9.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's not the same as a 9 that's a flat if you don't
It
have the
doesn't
curvy
matter.
6.
From
That's-
you know,
it's
someone
the same.
walking up to a door or looking at a front door that's looking for a number 9, he's going to look at an upside down 6 and go, "Oh, that's number 9, then, is it?"
Let's not talk about deliveries. There's a guy that misses a 1 every single time. It's a FedEx guy. Like, our house number is 1067, and he keeps on delivering stuff to 10167, which is like 2 streets down, every single time to my freaking house. It's the most annoying thing. So I don't want to get into delivery people. Clash, let's get to you. What is your response?
Yeah, unless you take into account 6s being used as 9s or vice versa, I think 20 is a strong answer.
Okay, we have 20 from Clash. Warrior, what is your answer?
I think I didn't understand the question because my answer is 10, and 9s and 6s don't look the same at the hardware stores, so I don't think that's a valid option.
Okay,
to
all
say.
right.
There was a way to
It would be
put
the
like
same.
us on top of each
Okay,
other.
so Warrior said 10. Good old Maurice?
I'm gonna use Nev's logic of 6s looking like 9s. I'm gonna go 0. You can just
Oh my
buy all
God.
6s.
I will tell you that is not correct.
Thank
So
you.
what's the answer?
We'll let James O'Many give the answer in chat, but what is your answer, assuming 0 is not the correct answer? By the way, that's the same answer I gave him ahead of time. I was like, it could be 0s, you know, the 6 could be flipped. He's like, no, that's not it. I was like, okay.
Oh, well, I appreciate how everybody else in the panel, you just tell me I'm just flat out wrong. Just no.
Well, because you only gave 0 as your answer. Nev hedged his bet here with 2 of them, so.
We'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20 sounds good.
Okay, so we have 20. It's just Ian. Did you catch the question?
I don't know what we're talking about.
Math.
We had a math question as one of our fun questions here.
Oh yeah, don't give me math questions.
Well, you can
guys.
just pick a number, but the question was if a door number fitter needed to fit the number 9 onto 100 houses from 1 to 100, how many would he need?
Okay,
How
that's
many
just too
no?
much. That's too much. Whatever you said right there, that's too much. I'm gonna go
All right.
with the GOM. That's 0.
Okay, there we go. So James O'Many.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, Warrior.
I would say if he had to fit a 9 onto 100 houses, how many houses would he do it? It would be all 100 if he had to fit them onto 100 houses.
No. So
So the
if a
answer
door
would be
number
100.
fitter needed to fit the numbers of 100 houses from 1 to 100, how many 9s would he need?
Well, I would still say 10 if he was using the actual number 9 and was going
Yes,
in
assuming the
chronological
actual
order.
number 9. Okay, so
Okay,
Warrior's sticking
nice.
with 10. Okay. And James O'Many, he gave me the answer yesterday. The answer is, in fact, 20.
I'm so smart. I'm so smart.
And I was just waiting on some like crafty riddle response, like you know.
20.
Nope.
Count them.
Okay,
Yeah.
1
20.
through
There's just 10 of them in the
Right.
first digit, in the ones digit.
Yeah.
And then there's
9,
10 of them that
19, 29, 39, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99. That's 10.
the
Right.
90, 91,
Okay.
92,
What about the
93, 94,
91, 92,
95,
93, 94, 95, 96, 97.
98.
We've already had 90.
No,
No,
you had it only in the ones digit.
One
You didn't have the
Yeah,
tens
tens
digit.
Oh, right. Correct.
This week on Sesame Street, kind of goes over counting.
1 9.
One stupid panelist. Two stupid panelists. Three dumb panelists.
The rage from yesterday. It's melting my brain. The anger. It is.
One exploded capillary. Two exploded capillaries.
All those brain cells. CG is just melting my brain away.
That's pretty much it. All right. Let's see. Next question is from Ouchie, and she said, "Question: What happened to all the new folks for Jedi Academy? Need more panel people."
What do you mean?
They're all here.
What do you mean?
No, she asked that at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
There were some people that were joining in a little late, and so it's just Ian now. We have Ned. We have Clash. Everyone that joined afterwards. So, and then the up and coming panelist, the apprentice himself.
My apprentice looks strong. He's had
All
his
right.
Cheerios. He is ready to force lightning his father right up his pooper.
31 pounds, bro. He's getting big, dude.
He's strong in the dark side of the force.
Did he just say poop? Is he saying poop?
He eats like every hour. Yeah. He's starting to become a musician now. He's starting to sing a lot.
All right.
All right, next question from Helenix. He says, I've been super busy since the pandemic began and haven't been able to tune into the live stream chats for a long time. How is everyone on the chat? Is everyone healthy and okay? So, Xylo, are you and your family all okay? I know that's more of a real question, but in the fun question. But is everyone okay? We want to make sure. There were some things in our RSG chat with someone.
Well, we don't really care about
family.
Xylo. I just care about my apprentice. Like, Xylo could pass
Apprentice
away.
is safe.
He's flexing his muscle. Hello.
Hello. Hello, my apprentice. I see you're happy. Stop that.
We're
So-
doing, little man's been out of daycare for the last few months, and I'm home with him during the daytimes, and usually I work 2 to 10:30. Mrs. is home with him during the nights, but her job's essential. She works at the Target here by the house, so they have a grocery store there. So she's working 6 days a week, and then me, I'm on call. I work at a high school down here for the county, and I usually work out in the yard and clean the school for like sporting events, things of that nature. But right now we're only going in like once, maybe twice a week, if that, if they call. And again, usually I work like 8-hour shifts. We go in for like 2 or 4 hours lately. We've been outside. We shut the building down like over a week ago. And, I've only been in contact with the people I work with, and, they're all doing the same things, keeping the same safety precautions and obviously social distancing, blah, blah. But other than that, we're good. The missus is working a lot. She's, getting gloves and face masks at work and everything like that. And I've been home with him most of the time, so it's been going well.
That's right, my apprentice. Slap your father.
But I hope everyone else is okay and everyone is good. We had a sad story in the RSG chat of someone losing a family member. So
who? What? Oh no!
Just want to make sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he put it in the public chat in RSG, but I don't want to put it on the screen or whatever. But yeah. But everyone, try and stay safe, of course.
Yes, please do.
Stay clean, of course. Let's see. Next
look,
question.
Paul just joined us. Paul, your counterpart has been really ragey this morning. What did you do?
What was the question, Ranger?
I said your counterpart from the Escape Podcast has been very ragey.
Yeah, He has.
Are you ragey, or are you just being normal Paul?
I try to be normal, Paul. I'm upset. I agree with Nev, thinking that the pack is predatory. But as far
Are you
as
ragey though?
no,
Okay. I don't think your wife will allow it. She keeps you in lock and step. So that's why I like her. Well, Paul, you joined at a perfect time. We're just doing fun questions, so I hope everybody.
We'll go back to some serious questions if you guys have any from the chat. So go ahead and toss them in. We'll kind of change the order around a little for this. But yeah.
Well, I was joining just so we had 9, so we could do.
Oh, let's start doing the Brady Bunch thing.
No. All right. Next question, Temple. Is there a chance that CG will be sued for not releasing the probability of each stat rolling for the mods offered for sale?
I don't think
so.
They could. I think.
I don't think they have to release that stat. They have to release the stat of buying something for your.
They do.
No, not for the mod rolling.
It involves RNG. They have to release the odds.
Yes.
Not if you're not paying for it.
You are paying for it though, because you're paying for the pack.
You're paying for the mods. The probabilities things that we would get for those packs is your chance to get what is shown.
I wouldn't mess around with
in those packs. You have 100% chance of getting those mods. The RNG is associated with leveling up mods, and they have never released that in the game, to my knowledge, in any country. Like, what is your chance of getting a stat on a mod is the only RNG of this pack.
Get him, Japan.
No, in Japan, the probability pack was defining, if I remember correctly, what your chance was to get the shards when there was a range of what you were buying. There's no doubt in what you are buying. You are buying that purple mod, the other purple mod, the gold mod, all those kind of things. There's no doubt about it. It is 100% chance that you're getting everything. The RNG is when you level it up afterwards, which has nothing to do with you spending money anymore. That's not what you're.
If you don't like it, go to Belgium and sue, because Belgium's really, really, really don't like gambling mechanics in their games.
Period.
Yeah, but I mean, this one, I mean, mod rolling is not necessarily a gambling mechanic, but I mean, it's different than what they've been talking about with their probability pack. This one is just 100% chance to get what you.
Finn does not have a law degree. He's a doctor.
If you buy those mods, how much? We know what the probabilities are. Like that's just statistics. I mean,
yeah. Yep.
All right.
Revenator, question for Ranger. No. When is part 2 of the Eternal Twins lore video coming out?
No, you're never getting it now.
I was surprised we got a first part.
Yeah, y'all shit all over that concept. I had all kinds of other stuff I was going to do. Nope, that's all gone. You guys completely, I was fair. I did the lore video, and y'all, and just on the video itself, Revenator pooped all over it by asking his ridiculous nonsense. So no more ever.
All right, next question. Darsai 1972. Question, Ranger. If I fly you out to New Jersey, will you help me build my herb box for my wife just to make sure? Check the axe was a carry-on.
No. New Jersey's kind of the epicenter of the coronavirus right now.
He's trying to get Ranger to build an herb box for him instead of just building his stuff for his mother in the hills.
Yeah, that's just,
and to bring an axe on the plane. That's what he was checking.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly too well. No pun intended. With me.
I don't think an axe is going to be allowed as a carry-on.
Sir, is that an axe that you're bringing in? Well, yes, I'm a lumberjack. It's part of my trade. And
I'm playing real-life Minecraft. I need to get to New Jersey.
Don't you see my sheath?
Yeah.
Okay.
I go in there like Minecraft with like my carry-on. It's a container that has like 40 ore, 40 this, 40 that. They just look at me like I'm insane.
All right. You know what? We have some serious questions here, so I'll pause the fun questions so we can get to those. I'll just mark these off here. And we do have Ian here, so I want to give you at least a serious question here because you joined in only for the fun questions, and that doesn't. I know you want to answer serious questions, right?
It's fine, dude.
You joined in with math.
Ian just woke up. You can tell he's just sitting there going, "God dang it!"
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I just can't wake up
you don't
early.
Apologize, man. Trust me. If I could have slept in, I would have slept in too, man. I'm just. I'll take Paul for the block, please.
All right. So this is kind of an interesting strategy question, and with a bunch of really, Paul. With everyone, making YouTube videos and everything. So Cussman, Gilo, I hope I said that right. Asked the question: Are we going to try and keep the Galactic Legend Ray counter quiet so that CG doesn't use a nerf hammer again?
Which counter? There's a couple
Any
of them.
counter. I guess the question is, are people going to try and keep it quiet? Because we've seen in the past, like if there's a counter that comes up too quickly, they somehow say that it's a bug or there's an issue and they nerf it. So do you think the community in general is going to try and
Are we
keep
keeping it
on
quiet? Because Cubs has already done videos, and I
Mhm.
think Operation has too. Is
Yeah.
it quiet though? I mean, I don't know.
I think stuff like that is really difficult to keep quiet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna nerf it. Probably Thrawn. Yeah, something with Fracture. I would assume. Fractures, I think, is the big reason why you can really kill both. If they were to do anything, I'm not saying they are, but if they were to do anything, it's gonna be something with Thrawn. I think. Something with Fracture, man. I think they're gonna probably just add into their kits like you can't fracture them or something like really specific to Thrawn, because you know the amount of time you buy yourself with Fracture is kind of insane. And if they were to do anything, I would assume that. But even then, like once you have ultimates, like you can still possibly lose unless you got like really high relics to tank the hits. And with I guess Ray's ult, if you have offense down, the whole ult, the AOE does way less damage, so you can actually even tank it if you don't have relics. But with Kylo's, you really can't do much about that. I think maybe you could actually, I don't know, but yeah, Fracture is just overpowered. So if they were to fix anything or nerf anything, it'd be something Fracture, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, we can go back to the top here because again we have some more serious questions. Then we'll jump.
Let's
back
give
to the
one to
fun
Paul because because he had to deal with all the raging from Nev. Let's see if we can get him to rage.
You're not going to get him to rage. I was effing and blinding last night, and he just kind of had his head in his hands, really.
I get Paul to rage. I bet you if I kick him in the nuts, he'll rage.
Go on, get him to rage. I dare you. I challenge you.
I can't because Paul's just too nice. I like Paul nice. I like nice Paul.
All right. So Paul, we'll ask you a question here. Darsign 1972 has a question: is it better to farm the flawed signal data or the incomplete signal data with double drops, or do I load up in the fragmented signal data? I'm taking last 4 character relics I'm working on the last 4 character relics for Galactic Legend.
That is actually a pretty good question. You are going to get more. It drops at about a 1.2 to 1 ratio for the first signal data. It drops at a 1 to 1 ratio approximately for the second signal data, and it drops at about 0.8 to 1 on the last signal data. My personal signal data farming, the way that I do it is I will farm the hardest first until I have enough, and then I'll go to the second one, and then I'll go to the first one, so I don't get tempted to go relic something else. You know, I don't want to be tempted to spend it early and then get distracted. So I farm the signal data, then I farm the pieces to get the salvage, and then I go for the first signal data. During double drops, because of the 0.8 to 1 ratio, it's going to be best to go for the hardest. But remember, 2 times 0 is still 0. And with that, circle gets the square.
That's right. Damn it, I should have gone with A.
I should have said no, Nev. We shouldn't have let him in. This was a bad decision. I regret it immediately.
No, you didn't. It's a good call. It's a good call.
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. Next question for Xylo. So we'll get you a serious question here, Xylo. Question from NR Wilson. So it's a little bit of a general question. What do you think is going to happen with the new raids? What will happen with soloing raids if they introduce a ship and a character mechanic?
You mean like soloing the Sith raid in that question? Or...
Soloing any raid, whatever the new raid is, right? If they give a ship phase and a character phase, do you think there's going to be a way to solo the raid?
I mean, it took quite a while to find certain compositions to solo the Sith raid, and then those were nixed, I should say, right? Going to the question in general, like the new raid, I see like a ground phase or ground tier. I mean, a lot of people see the Death Star. I mean, I thought they were going to go the route of like the new trilogy, for example, but yeah, it seems like they're just trying to move past the Episode 9 content at this point with the Galactic Legends. You know, that's the final two pieces for that content. You know, I in my opinion, I mean, I don't think you'll be able to solo it, or like they'll shove the ship tier in the middle somewhere, like tier 2 or tier 3, and it'll make it to where you have to run team A. You know, like say if it is a solo team that's very long term, the character composition will be able to only do phase 1 or phase 2 or, you know, both of those phases, and then the ship's phase will incorporate. It would be silly to put the ship's phase at the very end, because then that just opens up compositions for other solos. I don't think that they would be stupid enough to do that. But in general, I could see it being, you know, you need two different teams in one half, the beginning and the end, and then somewhere in the middle ships will fall in. So I think they'll try and implement a way from that aspect to keep it from being soloable in general, right? Because you'll have to go in with a minimum of 3 different teams at that point. So
Yeah, and I think that is an interesting question, right? How would we transition from ships to characters? Like if there was a ship phase and then a character phase, would they complete the ship phase and just automatically like kick you out of the raid and make you rejoin with the character phase, or is there going to be some kind of transition?
Well, think about it like Galactic War, for example. Obviously, there's 2 different game modes and things like that. But say like, you know, you take a team in the phase 1 or phase 1 and 2, and you do complete those 1 or 2 phases. Maybe the characters would be reusable, for example, something like that. So you can kind of put together a similar composition in the back half of the raid. But again, I think they're going to generate it to where you have to have certain teams for the beginning, middle, and end of the raid, and kind of separate it from that aspect.
Yeah. Does anyone think that there will change the mechanics somehow in the raid, that when you transition between phases, that potentially you can do so without ending your attempt if they switch from ships to characters? Or do you think it will end that particular attempt with ships or characters? And if you need to shift, then you need to redo your roster going in there. It does seem pretty difficult to try and integrate like a roster shift in order to try and do a solo over raid. At least in one attempt. You guys all think it'll be in pieces?
I think so.
It'll be in pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so it sounds like, to your question then, the only way to solo it is if you manage to somehow get in at like 0% of every phase that's character related, like combined, and then with ship related.
That's another thing too that kind of makes me laugh, is like if they do it, like say it is the Death Star, right? Like how do you incorporate, you know, beating the Death Star, and then, you know, how do you incorporate missions or tiers after that? Like that's supposed to be like the end of the story, right?
Well, kind of. It is for that one.
What I'm thinking is that you'll end up getting the primary pilot as the ground force, and if you end up taking in some pilotless ship, you just lose that spot.
Yeah, that's quite possible too.
All right. Let's get to the next question.
Next question here. So next up is Nev.
Oh, God.
No, it's a perfect question, actually.
No,
for
he's so angry.
So Nev, question from Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, do you think this matchmaking got better in GAC or worse from when Grand Arena first started?
I mean, well, Grand Arena, the algorithm from Grand Arena was completely different from GAC. Now, the algorithm that they used during the very, very first one, the exhibition GAC, was terrible. It was absolutely awful, because people were getting matched, higgledy-piggledy all over the bloody shop, and it just wasn't. It didn't look good. I mean, I myself had an account that got matched with a bunch of people who I was able to crush and beat on auto. That's how bad it was. It does get better. I don't think that they've changed it or tweaked it recently. I think that they just go from the set amount, the people's top amount. Where people are seeing the discrepancy is regarding the Galactic Legends that have recently occurred. If somebody has been going for both Galactic Legends, if you're a meta player, if you're at the top, if you're the point of the spear, not the tip of the spear, the point of the spear, you're going to have like 20 meta characters that are all relict, ready to rock and roll in your GAC. And now all of a sudden, somebody else has got 20 relict characters that aren't meta in order to get Galactic Legends Rey and Galactic Legends Kylo. So you going up against them, but you've got 20 odd meta relict characters and they've got 20 odd crap ish.
When I only had one baby, he said the next time it'd be just a dip.
So it's not that the algorithm's gone
we ended up with two babies.
Characters that people have had to farm and
XO68
relic
cheered.
has gone screwy based
X126.
purely on Galactic Legends, and that's what people are seeing. That's the funkiness that people are seeing. I mean, my heart still goes out to those that are in divisions 2, 3, and 4 that don't have Darth Revan, that keep getting Darth Revan. My advice to you is either get Darth Revan or bite the bullet and get yourself a GG Nukem team.
All right.
Okay. Next question here for Clash. And the question is from Plasma 1972. And the question is, with Malik coming back, is the Zeta on Zalbar or Mission required?
I don't think it's required. I think you have really good mods on Zalbar too. I think you need really good mods on Zalbar to make it work otherwise, but I still think Between Everyone Missions is going to be one that works really well regardless and can make a really good combo on many teams, not just Scoundrels. So I'd say do missions anyway, and that should make the whole event easier for you regardless.
Yeah, you don't need them, but you can beat the event without them. But boy, they sure make it easier.
Yeah, and missions is worth it in my opinion, either way.
Yeah.
Okay. And then once again, our pseudo last serious question here, although we are getting closer to time here. So Warrior, question to you, and this is based around kind of the mod packs and everything I think we were looking at. Question from Nightmare: how much do you think a plus 25 speed mod would actually be worth?
And what they would charge. They would charge the maximum USD of $100, $99.99 is what they would charge for one of those bad boys. Is what they would charge. What it's worth is like $4.99. If they sell those things for $4.99, if everybody go out and buy a few of those for a few characters, and it'd be worth it. Even free to play would probably go buy a couple for their roster. And it'd be really cool because everybody could get a few, and they could even limit, you can buy, 10 max lifetime or something. And that would be kind of a great equalizer to allow for everybody to have, at least 2 sets of speed mods to, be utilized across the roster set. But they probably won't ever do that, sadly. But, $4.99 would be what they should charge for a mod. And I know that that's a lot of money still, but that would be what I would believe to be fair and equitable amount. But knowing them, they would literally charge $100 for one 25 speed mod. Literally one.
Okay. We just did have another question come in too. So good old Maurice, you are next up here. Question from Joe Deppy 1. And the question is, I'm about to get Malik next week. My plan was to farm Separatist droids and gear Galactic Republic after that to go for gas. Would you recommend this, or would you just start farming for Rey?
He was going to farm to get gas, but now he doesn't want to.
Well, he's wondering if gas is the right direction or to start to work towards Rey. He doesn't know if he should change his plan.
Well, I mean, have you started farming for gas? If you start to finish.
He said he hadn't. He's finishing Malik next week. So he's finishing Malik next week and then doesn't know whether gas or Rey.
I think if you go for Rey fresh without... that's tough. I don't... Yes, but just know that if you make that decision to go for Rey, I mean, I don't know what you spend or your playing habits, but that is a very, very long time tunnel vision type of goal. Like if you go after Rey, you're not going to be able to get anything else. Like you really can't afford to veer off and take turns. Like, so if you're committing to Rey, just know that you're going to have a hard time doing certain things for a very long time. Like if you get gas, then you at least have components to counter Rey. Then you can help your guild and light side TV. I would almost say just go for gas, honestly. I just think there's like steps to this game, and if you avoid gas, you're kind of missing a pretty key step. It's because you're not going to be able to ever get cam shards. You're not going to be able to do the gas mission with Ahsoka. You're not going to really have a team at all for light side territory battles. So I mean, if you're in a casual guild, then maybe. But if you're in like a guild that's really trying for light side TB, you're kind of saying screw you guys. I do what I want, sort of thing. I really didn't answer that at all, did I?
No, you actually
No, you did.
Yeah, pretty well, actually.
Yeah, you went back to the gas. No, I think that's right, because you do get all the other teams, right?
Separatists,
Especially
you get Galactic
if it's...
Republic, you get gas. That's three teams that will really help you out with your guild, like you said, in GAC. I mean, I think it's a smart way to do it.
There's the other part too, right? Which you are going to end up inflating your GP so much with resistance at that point, and useless resistance, that you're going to make the rest of your matchups in like GAC miserable. You are very much focusing for a squad arena benefit that is way down the line, unless you are one of those that can create a spreadsheet and literally track all the gear that you need. So you only apply the gear when you need it at the very end, so you don't mess up your GAC.
I will say, if you're looking at a 3-star resistance hero, Finn and Poe in your inventory, you could probably get everything you need for your gas to finish the whole thing by the time you finish 7-star on those 2 characters. That takes a really, really long time. Those guys that are farming the Poe, the Finn, the Sith, that takes a long, long time. So you can probably do both. Like while you're working towards Rey with those 2 characters, you can finish your gas team.
Yeah.
Okay, so yesterday we had our Patreon's choice where people, where we had the Patreons ask, like we used to do on the bridge back when we started. My biggest regret to me was Malik. Don't forget, once they get Malik, they're also going to have to get all those stars.
Yeah.
I would say, in my opinion, go for gas, and then you will have teams for other things, and at the same time, you'll be getting gas. I regretted Malik. I regretted having to deal with all that stuff. Now, having a good standard Darth Revan and Jedi Knight Revan, that's awesome. You don't need Malik for that.
Well, not even just that too. He did mention that he's about to unlock Malik, right? So like he's
like a week away from Malik.
Yeah.
So like, and then what I would add in my experience too is like you can make Malik work at a 5-star level for a while, and then you can focus your get 1 on gas first. That way you can get him up to par, and then you can go back to Malik with your get 1 as you're rounding up the rest of your farms. So I mean the get 1's going to be the biggest crunch, obviously, regardless what you have saved up. But the sooner you get gas up and running, it's the sooner you'll have more offensive value and balance, right? And then you can start using them where you want to. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I would ever say I regretted Malik though.
No, Malik's a beast, man.
He's still one of like the most powerful characters in my roster.
My R7, and there's only a few, especially with the addition of Galactic Legends and everything. It's like get the best value out of those top end characters, and taking gas up to R7, I would say, is way more valuable than taking Malik to R7, for example. So that's just another reason.
In comparison, of those two, if you had both and you had to pick one to take to Relic 7, then probably yes.
That's why I regret Malik being my get 1 sink.
Yeah, because you can load him up with a bunch of protection at 5 stars and still make him valuable on offense. And then once your gas is up and running, you can throw your gas on defense. I mean, every time I face gas in GAC, it's a banner stealer, regardless, whatever you use. You're going to get value both ways with gas.
So you regret Relic 7ing Malik before gas, not getting Malik, right? Just to be clear, Paul. Sorry, I just want to make sure we're clear on what Paul is regretting. Because saying that you regret Malik is kind of a big statement there with a powerful character. So are you saying you would have rather just kept Malik at 5-star and then worked on Gas to 7-star first? Or are you regretting going after Malik at all?
I regret dealing with what I had to invest into Malik to get him where he is. If I had to choose between Gas or Malik, it's Gas all the way.
Okay. That clarifies things a little more. So yeah. Okay.
All right.
And it's just Ian. Last question here for you. Serious question. What else 73? What more, if anything, should they add to GAC?
Man, better rewards, for sure.
Yeah.
I think GAC is pretty good as is. I just think that we need more rewards. And with more ships, I guess we can get more ship zones too. And that's about it. I think characters, or the character teams, 5v5, that's totally fine. 3v3 is pretty cool. It's fun. Just the rewards suck. We need more rewards that are better, especially if we're going to put this much time in it and investment into our counters, not just for GAC, but for TW too. And the rewards suck. That's about that. Just want better rewards.
For me too, I've mentioned this in a few different places. It's like, if they could do anything for GAC, I think what they could do is kind of reskin it to where, they have territory wars. We have 4 different zones, top and bottom, right? I mean, you could add a 3rd zone on the top and bottom in GAC, and that would add a whole new level of strategy. I mean, because then you got to worry about not what's behind door number 1, but what's behind door number 2 and 3 and 4. You know what I mean? Like, add that extra layer to GAC for strategy. I think it would be fun. It would twist it up a lot more for sure, because you hear people asking about like hiding the score for GAC so people can't like snipe your score. I think adding 2 more walls, for example, or like another character wall and an additional ship wall, something like that, whatever they want to do. Even 3v3, it would make it even tougher for 3v3s. So
okay.
All right.
So that is it for the serious questions. Now we're jumping into the rest of the fun questions here. Actually, one around the corn question is from Dylar Twilight's Tactics, and I'll kind of open it up to all of you guys. I don't know which of your guilds are kind of facing this, but he wanted to know how many guilds are going to hit 2 front walls full of Galactic Legends in TW for the next 4 months, and is this fun? Our current opponent is stuck. So are any of you guys facing this where your opponents in TW just basically frontline Galactic Legends and you're pretty much done at that point?
No, we haven't seen it in MC3.
Mm-hmm.
We just burned through that bitch. Like,
did you save yours then? Is that what your strategy was?
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
No, just it was ugly.
Okay.
It wasn't pretty. We were in there just 20 bannering them all, but I mean, it's I don't know, that type of stuff's fun to me. For those of you guys that are frustrated with these, you can't beat them, you're having a hard time with them, just wait a week, and next week go into SWGOH.gg, open up the page of the top 25 players and click on their histories, because all of those guys are going to be fighting both of those guys consistently. You can see what they're using. You can look at their mods. You can see exactly how they have them modded. Now, granted, your mods aren't going to be nearly as good as theirs, but you can scale it down, kind of make it the same, just at a little lesser, speed and strength and stuff. But you can see what they're using and try to mold that yourself. Then bring it back to your guilds, and then I don't think it's going to be super frustrating. This is the same thing when Gas came out, when Darth Revan came out, when Traya came out. Traya was a real pain when she came out in TW. So it's just a new flavor of the month. Well, I think this stuff's fun. I'm weird though.
No, I'm with you. And you get more teams, right? In GAC, you're putting 7 or 8 teams on defense. In Territory Wars, on average, you're putting about 4 teams, and so you have more for offense that you can kind of play around with. So, no, I'm with you, good old Maurice. We haven't seen any in ours, but I kind of look forward to the opportunity of kind of testing some things out against.
Well, Dyler's a slick player too. I'm gonna look at his channel and see what he comes up with. He's good at he's real good at this game. He's got a good informative channel.
Yeah,
so
he does. Okay. So fun question, Durgan Questionfinity. If or when they release the Mando character, would Baby Yoda be a summon, or would he be sitting in a backpack on the Mando with the skill? So it could go either way. If he is being put in as a summon, he cannot be targetable. If you introduce an attackable Baby Yoda into the game, that is going to be like one of the worst things you can do.
Why?
Like, I don't think I can't picture people like taking gas and killing Baby Yoda.
You
Like, I
don't
would be
know.
like,
Have you never
that would be
watched
so
me
sad.
do? I would kill him in a second. Be like, oh, Baby Yoda drinking soup's death.
oh my god. But if he was in his backpack, I could see like an ability where it would trigger if the Mando is like below 50% health, where he would trigger like a Baby Yoda like auto stun where he tries to like force choke whoever dropped him below 50%. I think that would be friggin' fantastic. Like a little Baby Yoda just pops up and goes and like force chokes somebody on the other
That
team.
would be awesome.
It would be fantastic. Blade Liger, question. Honey or spicy barbecue sauce for Sheepy? Neo Venom says hi. Why are you guys trying to kill
Oh,
Sheepy?
spicy, man. I like
Oh my
spicy.
God. If you guys don't know, Sheepy is a sheep that decided to get into my base in Minecraft and just walk around while I was building the base and repeatedly just kept going bad in the middle of me saying stuff on the stream. And he became a mascot now for us. There's an emoji for our viewers too on the RSG YouTube, and they just spam Sheepy. It's just awful. All right, next question, Danilo Papayas. Is it okay to rename the Night Sisters for the time being into the Corona Sisters if you have good potency for
Oh
your
my
playing ability?
God! Jesus Christ!
Wow.
God!
Danilo, too soon. Too soon, Danilo.
That's a different kind of plague. Let's just. God.
Oh God.
You see the plague symbol changes just to a hypodermic needle that's red and stuff. Like, oh God. Jesus.
All right.
Wow.
God. All right. Question from Durgan. You know what? This one I'll ask to Clash. But I feel like this is not a scoundrel question, but maybe a scoundrel-y question. Durgan has a question. If Cara Dune was introduced to the game, who would have more muscly arms, Cara Dune or Galactic Legend Rey?
Cara Dune, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, one of her special abilities would be to, like, physically put someone in a headlock. It would be beautiful.
Yes.
I would love to see that animated out.
I would like to actually have her do that to me. Just throw that out there.
And actually, or a thigh
Oh
lock
no!
or something
Stop,
like that.
Kara! Stop! Oh no! It's so rough. Oh, I
Squish my
can't
head
take
like a
it.
grape.
Please, no more.
Baby Yoda pops out of the backpack and just sips soup while that's.
Could I just point out that if they're gonna, obviously we want Mandalorian characters in there, but I would actually like some 501st Legion stormtroopers in there as well,
Oh,
because the fans were in the show, and I'd love to see an actual fan faction in this game. I think that would be fun. Like, super cool.
I would like that. That'd be cool. All right.
Yeah, you know, I want Gideon with the Darksaber.
Yeah,
Moff Gideon with the Darksaber.
Okay.
So next question. God, Grande Verga question: is CG in charge of COVID testing?
Jesus, no.
Never
God.
before seen COVID testing pack, $75.
Use it for your Night Sister team.
Bill Butlicker question: Ranger, when can Nev come on the Wednesday night stream? We need a Ranger rant and Nev losing it at the same time.
Nev's
Think
always
of all the
welcome. But Nev already knows this. He just has to let us know when he's available and, you know, his schedules. But yeah, Paul and Ian and Clash and Warrior and everybody's always invited. They can come on anytime. They just need to say, hey, you guys, come hang out. Like, come on down. You know, so.
right,
It'd be an
everybody's
epic
always
rant
welcome.
off.
Yeah.
It would.
I mean, I would
Rant
win
battle
because I'm just evil.
Yeah, but I have a British accent, so I'm always going to win.
Yeah, but I have a military. I'm going to get in your face and make you cry and pee your pants.
I'm ex-military as well, Ranger, so I can get just as up
but
in
you're
your grill.
British military. You're too nice.
It's already starting. It's already starting.
I mean,
The
I'm
rant
sorry. If
battle.
someone's yelled at me in a British voice, it just makes me laugh. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right. Next question is Warrior. We got a couple questions for you.
Oh boy.
So first off, EXO wants to know: do you listen to Dave Ramsey? That's pretty much the question.
Yeah, I've followed Dave Ramsey for over 20 years.
Yep, I love Dave Ramsey. All right,
Yep.
And then the other question. This one I'm asking you because I feel like you would have some firsthand knowledge here. Curtis Arnett wants to know, what kind of free snacks do you think CG has at their office? Do they have fruit leather? Do they have raw cabbage?
They have really great snacks, and I do know. I mean, like I've been there 5 trips, so I've seen all their stuff. And by the way, their snacks are all free. They have vending machines and like boxes, cases of snacks. Just you walk into a room and it's just filled with snacks and vending machines, and all the vending machines are free. You just push buttons and stuff comes out. There's no like money required. It's kind of cool, and it's just all. Most of it is like 85% of it is super unhealthy. So back then it was really cool. I was like, yay. But then I was like thinking, that's not really good if I worked there. Like that would be bad. So, but they had an entire room just dedicated to snacks and stuff. But it was all, it's like, think about like the candy and snack aisle at Walmart.
What about like pickled halibut or something?
I mean,
No.
yeah.
No, nothing like that. It's like, sodas and candy bars,
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Utah question: is Finn wearing pants? I will not answer that.
The answer is
Question.
no, it's shorts.
That's a hail.
I won't. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question. And then last question here before we let everyone pimp their stuff. RSG Vormax. Serious question for good old Maurice. What is your icon on stream?
What do you mean? That's Phil Maurice. You can't tell.
Message me on Discord. I'll show you the real pictures.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Don't
my
do it.
God.
Don't listen
He
to
doesn't
him.
know what a berry bomb is.
Oh no,
He doesn't want to know. And once you've been berry bombed, it doesn't matter how much clothes that man has on. You've been berry bombed.
Trust me. I've got a bunch of bored old friends from my college days. The group text. There's about 60 to 80 different berry bombs for you. I got a whole, whatever your flavor is, I got you.
A portfolio, yeah.
Oh
my God.
Goodness.
All right.
Yeah, that's it for questions,
All right.
and we're ending on that.
All right, so we're gonna allow everybody here to pimp their stuff. I always let Warrior go first because usually he's running to the store or doing something crazy. Warrior, anything you want to pimp, my friend?
Yeah, just thanks for having me on as always. Appreciate being here. Definitely can check me out on Warrior Wednesdays on my live stream. Been having some fun doing that, and still have lots of very valid videos for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. So I have almost 1,000 videos from prior content, with many videos still just from the last few months, November, December, January out, for people who are looking for even recent content. So if you're still looking for videos from PvE and some other stuff, go check it out. A lot of older assault battles that how to walk through, or other stuff for free to players that are looking to beat Thrawn or other things like that, with some oddball things. You can still look and find things like that on there. There's still plenty on there to be found, so check out the very large library of videos to be had.
All right. Xylo, what are you and the Apprentice doing these days?
Yeah, a lot more free time, a lot more streaming, and we've been doing roster reviews, playing a lot of Galaxy Heroes. We did GAC this morning. Even doing a couple of other games as well, trying to fill the free time where we can. And you can check us out. This little man likes to stream from time to time, so apologies in advance for that. But come check us out on Takedown Games. Always on the lunch streams when I can be, and Saturdays are a little back and forth for me and the family, but try to be on here when we can. And really appreciate all the support you guys give, and all the viewers too as well. Love the skewers, and Finn and Ranger always have my back and always supporting me too, so thank you guys. And let's do it.
Yeah, and speaking of GAC, right after this, I'm going right into my GAC, and if the panel want to hang out while I do my GAC, they're more than welcome. So just be immediately right after this, we're going to go into GAC fight action. As I continue my cabberness, I can't end it. I have to keep being cabber. Once you start a cabber, you just can't give it up. All right, I'll let Paul and Ev kind of pip the Escape podcast together.
Paul, you take it away. You're the master of ceremonies.
Oh, master of ceremonies.
Would you
indeed.
like to see Neil make me go totally crazy? This episode is for you. And plus, we do have an announcement regarding the Castaways Network. At the beginning of the show, we have a great season finale that I won't spoil. thank you to Hellenix for assisting in making the season finale happen.
Mm-hmm.
The Castaways Network continues to grow, and I will be joining Biscuit Weasel here in about an hour or so, about an hour 45 minutes, and then I'll do my GAC over on Biscuit Weasel's channel.
Oh, very nice.
And lots of fun. I mean, we've got Lego, we've got more Talking Clones coming up after that. Lots of fun, and we'll see if anything's the same come the beginning of season 3.
All right, make sure you check them out. The Escape Podcast. All right, it's just Ian. What are you up to, buddy? You got videos all the time. I'm trying to catch them because you keep putting them out. God dang it!
Yeah, I put a lot out,
You do,
but
man.
I'm trying to do more streams on Twitch actually that are nothing about this game.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
playing some Warzone, a
Okay.
lot of Warzone. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stream some more of that on my Twitch channel. It's just Ian TV, I think is what it is on Twitch, and YouTube stuff. Trying to still do some YouTube things for SWGOH.
YouTube is, yeah, I'm sure YouTube's pissing you off. Like it's pissing all of us off right now.
Yeah.
YouTube. All right, Clash, my man. Where can folks check out your awesome content, man?
Thank you very much. It's always at Clash DOE, and I think I'm actually going to have to do a cold open for the Escape Pod cast here pretty soon because my TW just got beat by a fellow supporter in the
Did
listener
it?
lounge.
Oh yes, you are doing. Yes, you
Did
are
they
doing
finish it?
Yeah, they beat us. They beat us by like 50 banners. It was pretty close.
Oh wow, that's close. Yeah, those are the
Yeah,
tough
so-
ones where you
fight,
lose.
yeah.
When you lose within 100, you're like, God.
We had a little civil bet before the TW that whoever lost had to do the shameful cold open next week or whenever it is, and it looks like I'm up. So yeah, you'll see me there. A lot of my videos aren't public. So my stream of the stage and a lot of other things just in one of my channels. The ones I post publicly are always going to be the big counters that we come up with, but the other ones in between, sort of how we get there, are always on my server. So if you're not on the YouTube, you can catch me on the Scoundrel Discord as well.
Sounds like a plan. So make sure you check that out. And then Barry Bonds, if you want to pimp your stuff.
I'm good old Maurice. Barry Bonds wishes. I'm good old Maurice. I am one half of the Operation Metaverse. My partner in crime is Team Money G. As you guys know, our streams are always pants optional, so you will not want to miss it next week.
Yeah, but Team Money's always wearing pants. I don't buy that.
Yes, but next week we have a very special treat for you guys. I will actually be sword fighting the man in my avatar. So,
Okay, I
yes.
want to check that out.
I'll pay money for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
I'm coming with an extreme handicap.
Oh.
So yes, the odds are not in my favor.
That's right. So, all right. So,
I need a way to unsee that, good old Maurice, after I see it. Like, I'm not going to be able to resist seeing
you
it,
can win.
Yeah.
but I need some sort of Operation Metaverse mind wipe afterwards, so I don't have to remember.
You could stand on the other side of the house and knock me out with that thing.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't stand a chance.
All right. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure you do me a favor here before you leave this here. We're going to go right into GAC so you can hang out. We're going to go do some GAC fight action. I may try to stream some more tonight, depending if I'm alive after the slave labor I'm about to go do on the hill. That's just not going to be pretty. But working on Ray, so we may do that. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. But give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and do me a favor. See all these wonderful guys and all these content creators there? Do me a favor, go visit their sites, check out their videos, give them thumbs up, subscribe, support them. We were all about supporting the community, so just as it is important to support us, support these awesome guys. They're here on a Saturday morning. They don't have to be, but they're here to help answer your questions and help you enjoy the game more. So please support all these wonderful people. So if you could do anything, I would appreciate that the most. All right. So with that, we're going to call this one done. So on behalf of myself and the RC crew and the panel, thank you so much for being with us today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. Be safe. Social distancing. Wash your hands. And let's go ready to go do some cab fat action. Let's go do it. We'll see you next time.